I think that's my biggest catch is there's no reason not to use it. It's not like it's failing. It's not like our crumbling road infrastructure where bridges are literally falling down within driving distance of us here. This works. The technology is sufficient enough to do the job that it's doing, and there's no reason not to use it. The stations brought vital information, warnings, and comfort during tragedies like hurricanes and earthquakes, and again, in the wake of 9/11. So I can't think of a compelling reason for AM to go away. The fact that it's an old technology shouldn't be a reason. The wheel is an old technology, and that's not going away because it's thousands of years old, right?
Yeah, I don't really see why you'd get rid of it. I mean, it still works. It's worked essentially the same way for like 100 years at this point. I forget when it was invented. I think in the early 1900s, but like it still works, especially when it comes to things like this. Why would you get rid of it? And what is the alternative? Really, like, is there a plan from these automakers for? I guess they don't really. It's not their problem if AM radios are done away with. What the alternative would be for these kind of emergency broadcasts?
No, it's not. And their solution to this is use an app. And I'm sorry, but there isn't an app for the emergency broadcasting system. There isn't an app that works when the internet goes down or your cellular connection goes down. The technology of the internet, and it's ironic because when the concept of the internet came out after Sputnik launched, the idea was to move away from circuit switched telephone networks that could be taken out in a nuclear strike to a packet switch network which can route around outages on the network. So the whole premise of the internet was to have a redundant system of communication that didn't go down during emergencies. And the first thing that goes down in times of emergencies is your local internet connection. Mm-hmm. Like it happens every time. You know, we have gusty storms here and our cable internet goes out or the power goes out. And it's like there's so many things that an internet.
But there was one time when I was younger, we got stuck in traffic somewhere. It was like standstill traffic. And the first thing you did was tune to AM.
That was the New Jersey Turnpike, or the Pennsylvania Turnpike coming back from Hershey.
Yep. And the first thing you do was you tuned to one of our local AM stations to get the traffic, and they did traffic and weather.
Arbitrary at that point in time, and you're taking the choice out of the hands of the consumer at that point.
Yeah, and again, we've hit this a bunch, but like it doesn't cost that much. It can't cost that much. I have an FM and AM receiver hooked up to my stereo, and it's just 2 wires. Like I don't understand like what the argument. It's not like it's costing hundreds of thousands of dollars to install these devices in cars. It can't cost that much, you know, and it's just like, why get rid of it? I don't understand it.
Yeah, no, I agree. We're going to take another break here, and we come back. We're going to talk about how it can be saved because we're not the only ones that think it should be. There are other people, fortunately, in positions of power who think it should be saved. We'll be back in a minute.
We'll look at the interesting and obscure entertainment news of the week. We'll talk about theme park and pop culture news. We'll give you the latest and greatest on pop culture conventions. We'll give you a deep dive into Disney, Star Wars, and much more.
Of our national culture. He sees AM as vital in emergencies and in rural areas. He goes on to say AM radio is localism. It's community. AM's